Gives Gage Larvidan an easy opportunity to make an easy routine catch in the end zone because the man covering him was following Dylan's eyes.
So we expect him to start the second half and then turn it over to Shedeur Sanders. Joe Flacco completed his last 9 passes, had a touchdown toss to the rookie third-rounder, Harold Fannin, who I think is going to be an awesome weapon. It was the first time we saw him do something here.
It was fun to watch him, right? Just his ability to separate, right? He's just such a great athlete. He's got those great hands. He caught the ball on a little skinny post into the end zone, knowing that he was going to receive some contact, pulls it in, holds on to it all the way to the ground, just hopefully giving Browns fans a little preview of what we got in store for us this season with a couple dynamic pass catchers at tight end.
Well, Shedeur Sanders does have his helmet on. Dylan Gabriel does not. I'm no detective, but I think that means that perhaps Shedeur is about to enter the game.
I thought you were going to say, but I play one on TV?
No, I definitely don't. Play a lot of roles.
That's not one of them.
That's not one of them.
Uh-oh.
That's a bad kick that's shy of the 20-yard line, and so it's going to be a problem for the Rams.
Landing zone infraction, kicking team. The ball will be placed at the 40-yard line, first down.
And here comes Shedeur Sanders for the first time in Cleveland. Loved by many. It has been a national story throughout training camp. Did not play last week in the win over the Eagles because of an oblique injury, but lit up the Carolina skyline his NFL debut. And Sanders to throw. Flushed out of the pocket, looking, dumps it down and connects with Sal Cannella for a gain of about 5.5. So Shedeur Sanders, your quarterback profile, presented to you by Huntington Bank. In that season opening win over the Panthers, 14-23, almost 140 yards, a couple of touchdowns. Most importantly, did not turn it over that day.
And to me, that was really the big difference between the two rookie quarterbacks, Dylan Gabriel with the 2 turnovers credited to him in his start. Shedeur Sanders was clean with 0 in his start.
Amani Marshall in the backfield and gets it on second down and gets nowhere. Maybe loses a half yard. So Shedeur, as we mentioned in the first half, has done and said all the right things. There's been a lot of people, a lot of national shows that have an opinion on where he should be on the depth chart, how many reps he should be getting with certain players, and he has just kind of played football.
He's done a great job blocking out the noise. You know, he's been a superstar since probably high school, and national fans all over the place. It can become a distraction if you allow it, but he's just done a great job showing maturity, keeping it about, hey, I'm just trying to get better. I'm just trying to help the team. And he's really been everything the Browns have wanted when they drafted him.
3rd and 5, Sanders is going to run, and he will not get to the first down. Picks up maybe a yard, and it'll be 3 and out for the Browns on their opening drive of the second half.
Protection just not there, but good decision by Shedeur. Like, every drive's not going to end in a touchdown, so you don't have to force it sometimes. The first play of the drive, he does a nice job picking up some yardage instead of throwing it away. He throws it to Cannella, and then the run kind of got blown up. Not really great block by the offensive line up front, and then a good decision there. Just take a couple yards, try to scramble, but let him punt.
End over end. Stoops calls for the fair catch right next to a flag. By the way, the refs have made a lineup change as well. Brad Allen, head referee, is going to sit this half out. Chad Hill has taken over.
Player out of bounds on a kick, number 26 of the kicking team. 5-yard penalty, first down.
And so the Browns, they go 3 and out on their first drive. And now we'll try and tighten it up on D.
We're going to do whatever we can to bring Lombardi back here to Western New York. sharpens iron. It's good to see the boys out there competing.
It's Buffalo versus the world. We have to make the city proud.
Resilient, tough. That is Buffalo to a core, baby.
Chase something. More than just a flag. Chase rings. Chase gold.
Nah, chase me.
NFL flag. Chase something.
Imagine the greatest team of all time. One that protects everyone's right to chase a dream and opens doors to second chances. Who wouldn't want to be part of a team like that?
Week 3 and NFL Network has 6 live games. The last chance to stand out and for the young guys to make a name for themselves.
They're back in it, baby!
Week 3 of the NFL Preseason, live on NFL Network.
Chase something. More than just a flag. Chase a goal.
Push, he said, chase it, let's go.
Chase something. Chase rings. Chase gold.
Chase me.
Nah, chase me.
Chase all of it. It's all up for grabs now. NFL flag. Chase something.
We're going to do whatever we can to bring in Lombardi to Western New York.
Resilient, tough. That is Buffalo to a core, baby.
Browns preseason football on News 5 is brought to you by Toyota. For all Toyota offers, go to Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. We welcome in the architect of the Cleveland Browns, Andrew Berry. It's our yearly visit.
That's right, Chris.
How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Boy, do we have a lot of stuff to talk about. You want to start with quarterbacks?
We can start with quarterbacks.
Okay,
That's no problem.
let's do it. Joe Flacco obviously named the starter this past week, and a lot of people are wondering, what's the plan for the rookies moving forward? How do you balance getting a team ready for a game and developing 2 rookies that you drafted on the fly?
Well, one of the two primary responsibilities for our coaching staff are to prepare the team for the upcoming opponent and simultaneously bring our younger players along. And I know that has gotten more attention this year just because of the 2 rookie quarterbacks, but it's something that Kevin and his staff have done a fantastic job of over the past 5 years. For our particular situation at the quarterback position, I got to give Kevin, Tommy Breeze, Bill Musgrave a lot of credit in terms of how they've designed and redesigned practices to make sure that these young players behind the scenes can get the reps necessary to improve.
What sort of things have they done in practice to redesign that practice schedule to make sure that those guys are getting the quality reps that they need to continue their development?
Yeah, that's a great question, Joe. I think probably the easiest example for anyone who has come out to the training camp practices is our approach with what we call 2-spotting. So essentially during 7-on-7 and some team periods, we'll run 2 concurrent offensive groups. So essentially you have almost like a split squad where you have the 2 young kids on one field, you have the veterans on the other, and you run the same period concurrently, which allows all the players to get the necessary reps.
It's almost a little bit like how colleges run their practice, because they've got 100 plus guys. They got to have 2 practices basically going on at the same time to get the reps that they need.
How do you determine whether or not you're comfortable with one of those guys or both of them being 1 snap away?
Yeah, so first of all, we have a lot of belief in both Dylan and Shador, and both of those guys have had an excellent preseason to date. And a big part of it is we measure and track everything in practice. Every throw, every decision, footwork, you name it. And we talk about the tangible progress that we're seeing on a weekly basis. Now, nothing is a substitute for competitive game situations, whether it's in the preseason and then certainly the regular season. So with any rookie player, not just quarterbacks, there is a little bit of a leap of faith, but we've been able to see their progress in real time, which gives us the confidence with both guys.
You always want to see your great players that are making plays in practice carry that over to game day. And as a rookie, that's always a question, right? Are they the same guy in practice?
That's right.
As we're going to see on game day. So for those two quarterbacks specifically, after tracking and watching them practice, how have you seen that carry over to how they play on game day?
Yeah, Joe, you hit the nail on the head. I call it sometimes players get stage fright. Maybe not realistically, but just how they actually perform. And it's been great to see Dylan and Shedeur perform under the lights. Those guys, they prepare their tails off. And I think the cooler part is in these uncontrolled settings in games, you see the playmaking come out. Joe, there's always a quick whistle in practice for the quarterbacks that can't get hit. And in these settings, it's real football, and to see them be able to perfuse out of structure, that's probably been the most encouraging thing.
Browns make a nice play on Schrader, who's trying just to get back to the line of scrimmage. Good job by Cam Thomas and also Aiden Huntington, who's been a really nice pickup by you. Done some great things on special teams and defense as well. Let's continue a little bit more with the quarterback situation. Everybody's saying, well, the Browns can't keep 4 quarterbacks. So how do you wrestle with that over the next 72 hours?
Honestly, it's not much of a decision for us. All 4 guys have done what we've asked. Obviously, 3 of them have dealt with injuries throughout their time here. But the reality of it is, 53-man roster. You have great player, Cameron.
Yeah, there you go. You can get a little excited, Andrew Berry.
Great player.
That's right, Cameron Thomas. Do your thing.
You have 53 roster spots. 5 are really developmental or inactive spots. Plus, post-COVID, the roster rules are just so much more flexible that you can build your 48 game day roster, unless you're wiped out from injury, pretty creatively. Quarterback, it's the most important position in sports. We have a room that we like all the guys in there, so we don't really see that as a problem. We really more see it as an opportunity.
So it typically means that if you're keeping 4 quarterbacks, you got to make some harder decisions in some of those other position rooms. Is there another position room that you're looking at and saying, hey, we got a guy that maybe can play a couple positions, so you almost get a 2-for-1 if we keep that player, and so we can go maybe a little bit lighter than we normally would in this position group because we are keeping those 4 quarterbacks?
Yeah, really it's probably in our linebacker and safety rooms because in our defense, call it the strong safety or quarter position, really has a bit of a blend, with our second level defenders. And so some of the players in each of those rooms, they can live in both worlds, so to speak, and that does give us some roster flexibility as we build out the 53.
Gage Larvadan taking it from his 8, takes a big hit with a 5-yard return. And that means that Shedeur Sanders will return to the field. What has impressed you most about Shedeur? Maybe something that we, the fans, have not seen on social media since that's the end-all, be-all?
I'll give you 2 things. So I think the first thing is it can never be underestimated how big of a transition it is for a quarterback to go from college to the NFL. I think particularly in Shedeur's case, he's going from a college offensive system where kind of give the example, it's okay, imagine you are fluent in English and now you have to learn Mandarin. It's not even a Germanic language. And his growth really since the spring on the mental side of things, having command of the offense, has been real impressive. And then the second part is just his physical and mental toughness. For him to be out here so soon after his oblique injury is really no easy thing, especially for a thrower. And he just loves playing. He loves being on the lights. He loves being there for his teammates, and that's exactly what you want out of your quarterback.
Let's talk a little bit about some other positions on offense. People are curious about Quinshon Judkins and how we're doing with that.
Yeah, so there's not much that that I have an update on in terms of Q. We'll take that day to day and manage the situation appropriately.
2nd and 10. After Marshall had the drop, he'll get it put in his belly and get maybe a yard or 2. You just signed Isaiah Bond this week as well. We saw him on the field for a handful of plays in the first half. What made you comfortable with that signing?
Yeah, a big part of it is, we have gotten to know Isaiah's player personally the past calendar year, and then obviously done a enormous amount of work, on his legal situation. That's something that we never take lightly when a player is involved in a situation or alleged to be involved in a situation like that. And really, we got really comfortable doing our due diligence and our investigative work. Felt comfortable with the player just based on his time with Tommy Reese at Alabama. And after his criminal case was resolved, we felt really good about bringing him into the organization.
Sanders had gotten out of the pocket, overshot Travion Williams down the right side. There are multiple flags down, perhaps ineligible man downfield. Joe will always say that for offensive linemen, that's a tough go.
It's a tough one. Yeah, sometimes you're out there trying to get a block for your quarterback, and you don't realize exactly where you are because you think maybe the quarterback has broken contain and is going to try to take off and run with it. But those are the breaks sometimes. The O-linemen, we're pretty low on the pecking order if anybody really cares about what we have to say about something or what we think.
Yeah, Joe, I always think about it as I think O-line's the only position in any sport where you play with your back to the ball. And these guys who extend the play or play out of structure, it can make life difficult, when they don't play on time.
Joe used to play with his back to the basket, too, when he was an animal in Wisconsin high school hoops.
You don't want to see this drop step dunk, baby.
So, Andrew, the bad news
painful.
is we went 3 and out again on offense. The good news is you get to stick around as we're going to talk a little defense. Okay?
All right.
More with Andrew Berry in Cleveland. Browns lead the Rams 16-7.
Chase something. More than just a flag. Chase rings. Chase gold.
Nah, chase me.
NFL flag. Chase something.
We're going to do whatever we can to bring in Lombardi to Western New York.
Resilient, tough, that is Buffalo to a core, baby.
And NFL Network has 6 live games. The last chance to stand out. And for the young guys to make a name for themselves.
They're back in it, baby!
Week 3 of the NFL Preseason. Live on NFL Network.
Thursday Night Football returns to Prime on September 11th. And the schedule is stacked.
A lot to be excited about.
With the biggest names and the can't-miss games.
You just can't stop them.
TNF is back in September. It's on Prime.
We're going to do whatever we can to bring in Lombardi back here to Western New York. Iron sharpens iron. It's good to see the boys out there competing.
It's Buffalo versus the world. We have to make the city proud.
Resilient, tough, that is Buffalo to a core, baby.
Preseason football on News 5 is presented by University Hospitals, official healthcare partner of the Cleveland Browns. As we continue on with Andrew Berry, and here's some key dates coming up. Tuesday, 4 o'clock Cleveland time. You got to reduce that roster to 53 players. The work doesn't stop there. What are the next several days like for you and your staff?
Yeah, there's a fair amount of a turnover at the bottom of the roster after the cut-down date. And just as we're getting down to 53 players, all 31 other teams are as well. And so, our focus at that point is really scouring the rest of the players who release and players that could really help upgrade at the back end of some of these position groups. So it's usually a pretty busy and a pretty long night, after the cut down, when we're looking either to to claim, sign, trade for players that we think can help us in the front in the short term. And then on top of that, we're also signing our 16-member practice squad, which will be comprised of some players that are currently in our 90 and others that will be external.
How different is it for you guys having this long layoff versus when we played? You play Thursday, and then all of a sudden Labor Day weekend you cut down and you go right back into prepping for that first game of the season. But you guys had this real long layoff, and you mentioned how cut down day works. But what's the mentality as you're going through this big break here before you actually get into that game week?
I'd say number one, it's a lot better from my perspective, because it gives you a better chance to really get healthy as you go into week one. In terms of the day-to-day of the team, we have next week, we call it Sharp Week, where we want to make sure we're still high tempo, we're still maintaining a level of sharpness for the team, going Browns versus Browns. And then after Labor Day weekend, that's when we really transition into the preparation for the opener.
Browns drafted Mason Graham, top of the first round, dominant defensive tackle from Michigan. And the first thing I thought is, I can't wait to see him next to Myles Garrett. What have you seen, and how have the vision for Mason Graham looked thus far in training camp, lining him up with Myles Garrett?
We've been very pleased with Mason's progress so far, particularly as an interior rusher. Our vision was, hey, it's very difficult if you have a guy who can really affect the passer on the edge and a guy who can do it on the inside. Myles is always going to get the slide, and that gives a one-on-one opportunity for your interior rusher. Or if they're going to, double Mason or double interior rusher, then you've got the best defensive player on the planet one-on-one against a tackle. So it really puts the offense in a bit of a bind if you can have two guys that are able to do that.
A lot has been made about Mason Graham's role in his Michigan defense, where he was more of a two-gapper, and now where he's penetrating in Jim Schwartz's defense. How has that transition been for him, and what kind of play did you expect out of him as a penetrating guy, as a guy that's more of a disruptor now here with the Browns?
So physically and his playing personality, we felt like it was going to be a really nice fit. He's got quickness, he's got power, he's a really high-motor player, he has range. That wasn't necessarily always maximized in what he was asked to do at Michigan. Typically, players that are in a system like that and then go to what we call an attack front, it takes a little bit of time for them to make the adjustment. They revert back to maybe old habits, because in Mason's case, he will have played in the same system for 3 years. And what we've been pleasantly surprised is that Mason has really taken to the technique quite quickly. And that's not to say that he's perfect, but he's probably learned a little bit more quickly than we would have anticipated.
Rams with a long pass play to True Edwards, and the bad news for the Browns is that Julian Okwara is back down behind the play. Andrew, we're going to take a quick break, and then we will continue on. Rams with the ball, down 9 in the third.
The Sleep Number Climate Cool Smart Bed. The only smart bed in the world that actively cools and effortlessly adjusts to both of you. Sleep up to 15 degrees cooler on each side. All Sleep Number smart beds offer temperature solutions for your best sleep. Visit a Sleep Number store near you.
We're going to do whatever we can to bring Lombardi back here to Western New York. Iron sharpens iron. It's good to see the boys out there competing.
It's Buffalo versus the world. We have to make this city proud.
Resilient, tough. That is Buffalo to a core, baby.
Thursday Night Football returns to Prime on September 11th, and the schedule is stacked.
A lot to be excited about.
With the biggest names and the can't-miss games.
You just can't stop them.
Black Friday football is back, and we've got another exclusive wildcard playoff game.
Welcome to the playoffs.
Plus, a special gift, Prime's first-ever Christmas game.
Ho, ho, ho! Let's go!
TNF is back in September. It's on Prime.
Chase something. More than just a flag. Chase rings. Chase gold.
Nah, chase me.
NFL flag. Chase something. Chase something.
Let's go.
More than just a flag. Chase a goal.
Push, she said, chase it, let's go.
Chase something. Chase rings. Chase gold.
Chase me.
Nah, chase me.
Chase all of it. It's all up for grabs now. NFL flag. Chase something.
You do not want to miss a single play, so get your seats to your favorite matchups today. Visit clevelandbrowns.com/tickets today. I know these good fans are waiting for number 12, used to be number 2 out in Boulder, get back on the field. And Andrew Berry would love that as well because it means our defense would get the Rams off the field.
That's right. That's right, Chris. Let's get a stop here. Even better, let's get a turnover.
Oh, I like that. Yeah. I like where your head's at there. That's a former DB.
That's right.
Harvard. I mean, that's that mentality. I see. Professor Wynn remains in the game. It's 1st and 10 for the Rams with this play, and then start talking about the Browns secondary. Stoops dropped down at the 34. Easton Mascarenas Arnold on the stop. So the secondary obviously suffered a really, really tough blow early in camp with MJ Emerson going down with the Achilles. Denzel Ward, Greg Newsome, both nursing shoulder injuries. They're okay. Expect them good to go. Week 1, the whole bit. It's the depth after that that obviously would be a concern for you. Where are you mentally with that?
It's losing MJ. That's a big blow, and quite frankly, we're never going to be able to fully replace that in season. But it does give great opportunity for younger players like Miles Harden and Cam Mitchell to step up. I'll touch on Miles specifically just because he missed most of his rookie year. He was a 7th-round pick out of South Dakota State for us, and he's done a really nice job acclimating to our nickel position, and we've been pleased with his progress. But we are looking for more guys to step up, and this is an important game for a number of guys for spots 4 and 5.
That is well done by you, by the way. That was excellent. 3rd and 7 for Wynn. Completes. Spin, and not quite getting the first down is Presley. Good fight, so that's going to bring up 4th and short.
Nice defensive call by Jim Schwartz running that trap corner. I said that Dylan Gabriel has to be worried about where you got your outside cornerback able to fall off and make a big hit, almost disrupts the football there when the ball goes to the inside receiver on an outbreaking route.
All right, are we getting one of these one of the measurements?
Here it is.
Yeah, this is it. It's the Hawkeye virtual measurement system. Now, just so that you know, it measures the ball location relative to the line of gain. It does not stop the ball. That's still human. You got a half dozen cameras on one side of the stadium doing this. It doesn't utilize lasers or chips in the ball. Here we go. Now, they say it should take about 30 seconds to do this whole thing. You don't have this system in your backyard or anything.
No, I don't, but I'm a huge fan of the Hawkeye technology. Now, 30 seconds, for the games I've watched, I will take the over in terms of how long it's taken.
We're still figuring it out.
But I'm just saying, we use lasers. Here we go. I love this.
Here we go.
Lasers, tracking technology for track and field, all these major sports, and for decades we've still been using just chain loops. Like this makes so much more sense to me.
You weren't working on this at Harvard? I mean, you couldn't have figured out how to get.
I should have, man. I tell you what. That's exactly right. I would have made a lot of money.
But you still would have been in this job because you love it in your passion. All right, by the way, that was 9 inches short. I remember the first time I called it in Carolina, I think I called it wrong. It was like, hey, well, that was 1.2 inches. Everybody on Twitter, of course, was wonderfully receptive to that.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, you idiots.
Yeah.
I'm sure they gave you a lot of grace, Chris.
All right, let's see what the Browns short yardage defense has. Let's go. Wynn pushing forward. Well, that's a first down. We don't need the Hawkeye for that. All right, so linebacker-wise, Carson Schlesinger, first pick of the 2nd round. Some people are like, wait, an off-ball linebacker, and obviously you needed him. JOK not playing this year. Jordan Hicks retires at the beginning of training camp. What has Carson Schlesinger shown you that maybe even you didn't expect when you turned the name in?
I mean, Carson, it's like we added a 5-year vet to the room. It's very rare for rookie linebackers to be able to come in and wear the green dot right away, and it's really been seamless with him. He's long, he can run.
Yeah, really nice play. Kamarian James.
Carson, he's got great instincts, and he has just this insatiable desire to be great. His work ethic is absolutely outstanding. And we compare that with physical talents and intelligence. It's obviously a winning combination.
Rest of that room took a little bit of a hit this past week. Nathaniel Watson was having a great camp, done for the year with a biceps. Winston Reed is dinged up as well. He had to sign a couple of guys, I believe, Wednesday or Thursday just to fill out for this game. Good job by Easton Mascarenas-Arnold, who's been great as an undrafted rookie free agent out of USC. Is that a guy that is being discussed in that room?
Chris, you could not have picked a better segue. We're very pleased very pleased.
This guy's a pro here.
Very pleased with Easton this preseason. It's funny, him, Carson, and Mason, we might as well call them the triplets because they're always together in the facility since spring. He can run, he's physical, he can play in coverage. Even though he's a little undersized, that's not as big of a deal in our system. And he's made a lot of plays this August for us.
Browns blitzing win, rolls out right, throws incomplete. Good job by KJ Henry getting into the backfield. Of course, had a pick six last week in Philly. And the Rams will come out, and it looks like they're going to try a long field goal. Josh Carty. Boy, your time of possession this quarter has been immense. I just want to say, that's good.
I was going to say, yeah. I mean,
can you use that in contract negotiations?
I wish.
Joe will gladly volunteer to give back some of the cash he's been taking.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I was doing this for free. They're paying you to do this, Chris? That other stuff that I got when I was playing, I already spent it on cattle and Wagyu beef and farm, so it's gone.
All right. We have a quick timeout. You want to say goodbye? You can go, or do you want to hang through the kick? I will give you.
Let's hang through the kick. Okay. Look, I only get to do this once a year with you guys. So
that's true. Well, I'm not trying to kick you out. You can stay the rest of the game if you want to.
Chris. Chris is trying to get rid of you.
That is not what I'm doing.
I mean, it was soft. It was professional.
Don't make me come over there. Do not make me come over there.
Save me, AD. I know you're a lot stronger than the three of us. You're the only guy who can help me.
Were you ever the guy in the wing trying to block the kick?
You know what? I was, but fun fact, I was actually the holder in college.
Really?
Yeah, I was, yeah.
You can't come up and then go back down on the knee. You're down.
Yeah, I was always.
Did you ever have to throw a pass? Like
I did. I did. We completed it, but we did not convert.
For -2 yards. So what is your career stat line at quarterback then? 1 for 1 for -2. Hungry rating.
45-yard attempt by Carty, and he nails it. Andrew Berry, it was a pleasure, man.
No, my pleasure is all mine. Thank you.
Good seeing you. Good luck. Right. Can't wait to see the final 53 on Tuesday and then beyond. Shedeur Sanders in the on-deck circle. We'll see him right after this.
Aren't you going to miss the game?
Network has 6 live games, the last chance to stand out, and for the young guys to make a name for themselves.
They're back in it, baby!
Week 3 of the NFL Preseason, live on NFL Network.
We're going to do whatever we can to bring Lombardi back here to Western New York. Iron sharpens iron. It's good to see the boys out there competing.
It's Buffalo versus the world. We have to make the city proud.
Resilient, tough. That is Buffalo to a core, baby.
Thursday Night Football returns to Prime on September 11th, and the schedule is stacked.
A lot to be excited about.
With the biggest names and the can't-miss games.
You just can't stop them.
TNF is back in September. It's on Prime.
It is time for football.
It's another opportunity.
Holy smokes. Wow.
Let's go! I love y'all.
Remember to kick off your mornings with News 5's Good Morning Cleveland. Tiffany Tarpley, Mike Brookbank, meteorologist Trent McGill have more of everything you need. More local news, consumer news, traffic, and Power of 5 weather, so you are all set for the day ahead. Joshua Carty, 45-yard field goal, has gotten the Rams back within 6 as Shedeur Sanders about to take the field yet again. Heard some interesting stuff from Andrew Berry. Going to be busy for the next week trying to put the finishing touches on the 2025 version of the Browns, who will start this next drive at the 35. So we haven't seen much from the offense under the leadership this time of Shedeur Sanders. That's going to happen. What do you want to see now?
I'd like to see a long drive with some opportunity for him to show off his stuff, right? He's done a great job being poised back there, making great decisions on when to stay in the pocket, when to leave in his last start, but just not a lot of opportunities, not great blocking, and then just drives that are stalling because they're not successful in the run game, so keeping them in long situations, receivers not giving them windows to throw to.
Marshall in the backfield behind Sanders. He'll get the rock and go nowhere, courtesy of that Rams defense. By the way, under the tutelage of Chris Shula, grandson of the legendary coach Don Shula, and a former collegiate teammate of Sean McVay at Miami University. Cradle of coaches, my man.
Ohio is just unbelievably loaded with great coaches that have littered the college football landscape, the NFL landscape. I mean, there's really good football here all the way to high school. Friday Night Lights is something I'm very jealous of as a guy who's living in Wisconsin now.
Sanders dumps it down to Marshall for a short gain. We saw Shedeur a couple of weeks ago in his NFL opener at Carolina. Actually went against the first-string defense his first couple of drives. Really lit it up after that. Poised, ball placement was really, for the most part, outstanding. And let's remember, he is an uber-accurate passer.
Yeah, and we've seen that accuracy today. Not a lot of places to go with the football. That last throw probably could have thrown the intermediate route, would have gained a couple more yards, but everything has been quick with his decision-making and accurate with the throw.
Rams blitzing. Sanders has the ball stripped, bouncing around, and the Browns, it appears they fall on it. It was Muhammad that came in off the edge to jar the ball loose from Sanders, and it'll be another 3 and out.
Ivy, the Browns' left tackle there, does not do a great job around the edge. Shedeur Sanders, one thing he needs to learn is in those situations, you got those 3rd and longs, you're taking a deep drop because you've got routes that are going deep down the field. You want to be able to step up because those tackles got problems with those speed rushers coming around the edge, so he hung a little bit deep in the pocket there. Not saying it still wouldn't have been a sack, but that's something that he's got to learn on those 3rd and long plays to be able to step up and climb in the pocket. Help your tackles out.
Loses the ball inside the 5-yard line and gets stopped in his tracks. Another booming punt by Corey Bajorquez, who has averaged more than 50 yards per punt. We will pause now for a word from Huntington Bank.
You ever feel like your money is just lying around? Welcome to Huntington, a bank that believes we should all get more from money. Like a path to turn all those late nights into beach days, sunscreen Noel, and a nudge when you've got enough for the go, without wiping out the groceries. And anything to make life easier for all you small business owners. We see you, Dad. Banking isn't just checking and saving. It's about getting more from money. Huntington Bank.
Browns offense stalled here in the second half, but another great punt by Corey Bajorquez. as the Rams starting this next drive inside their own 5 at about the 3-yard line.
Second time for Bojorquez, pinning him back with a booming punt inside the 5-yard line. What a weapon this guy is for the Browns.
Yeah, he has been fantastic now in his 4th season here in Cleveland. He has 5 punts over 70 yards in the last 3 seasons. Nobody else in the league has more than 2.
As a former punter myself, I feel like a kindred spirit to my punters. We roomed with them in college. Underappreciated. But
you roomed with a punter?
Oh, yeah. Kenny DeBush, the great Kenny DeBush, the leg we called him. Of course, like any good kicker or punter.
It's called Kenny the Leg?
Kenny the Leg.
Who else was your 3rd roommate? Jimmy the Nose?
Actually, the backup punter, Paul Standard. So I really got along very well with the special teams guys.
This is breaking news with Joe Thomas that he roomed with. I'm not laughing at the fact.
And a snapper.
So a snapper and 2 punters?
Yes, that's right.
The good news is we have an entire 4th quarter to break down who else was on your dormitory hallway in Madison. Browns up 16-10.
Brandon Coley, Jablonski Auto Body, LLC.
What'd she call Harper? Oh, we actually sold the Twins naming rights.
You know, like stadiums do. Very lucrative.
Oasis Breeze Tan and Spa.
The right money moves aren't as absurd as you think.
Imagine the greatest team of all time. One that comes together to understand each other more deeply. Doesn't let a person's past prevent them from having a better future. Protects everyone's right to chase a dream. And opens doors to second chances. Who wouldn't want to be part of a team like that?
NFL Network has 6 live games. The last chance to stand out. And for the young guys to make a name for themselves.
They're back in it, baby!
Week 3 of the NFL Preseason, live on NFL Network.
We're going to do whatever we can to bring Lombardi back here to Western New York. Iron sharpens iron. It's good to see the boys out there competing.
It's Buffalo versus the world. We have to make the city proud.
Resilient, tough. That is Buffalo to a core, baby.
End of the 3rd quarter stats brought to you by Bridgestone. Bridgestone, the official tire of the Cleveland Browns. Not much to write home about for the Browns in the 3rd quarter. 2 total yards.
Not running the ball, not protecting your quarterback. And for Shedeur Sanders, the guy that a lot of people, most people, are out here to watch here today, not really getting an opportunity to show his stuff like he did when he was playing against Carolina a couple weeks ago.
I think the best thing about the 3rd quarter outside of the interview with Andrew Berry was the fact we found out that you room with long snappers.
Punters.
Yeah,
they were the most fun.
There you go. That's a little false startage.
False start. Offense, number 57. Half the distance to the goal. We play second down.
You know, overall, I think it's been an outstanding camp. You mentioned the physicality, and that has been an emotional mindset change for this organization. There was hitting, there was tackling in camp, and people said, well, of course there is. It's football, but not. That has not been the Stefanski camp way for much of the first 5 years of his tenure, and you can see the physicality that has shown up on game day, I think.
I think so, too. I think you saw it in those joint practices where the Browns were just out-physicaling the Carolina Panthers and the Philadelphia Eagles. They were imposing their will on them, and it started on both sides of the offensive and the defensive line there in the trenches, and really just continued all the way through the linebacker core and the safeties. You've seen some big hits today. So what I really like about a training camp or a preseason is those opportunities to get your mind into football speed, right? Which not just talking about how fast you need to react and play, but how you need to run through tackles and run through blocks to make that physical portion of the game second nature, which that's something I think you almost have to relearn every time you put the pads back on and start a new season.
Browns force a 3 and out as winds pass sailed high over the head of Britton Covey. So the Browns should get the ball back in decent field position, and Shedeur Sanders are chomping at the bit.
As are we, to see him get a few opportunities here. Come on, let's go.
So it's going to be interesting to see how this whole thing plays out. I mean, Andrew Berry was as honest as he can be when you're trying to construct a roster in time for Tuesday's cutdown day. You know, we'll see if there's quarterback movement around the league. Injuries play a role in guys getting moved as well. Gage Larvidan from his 35 gets it close to midfield before he gets dropped by the Rams. So here comes Shedeur Sanders. So how do you think this whole thing's going to play out in terms of the quarterback situation?
The Browns franchise? I don't know. They'll win one before I die. I know that.
I'm talking about once Joe Flacco starts. I mean, Jimmy Haslam came out at his preseason press conference and say we have to look at the young guys at some point. And
it's obvious. You know, as players, you really just focus on the here and now. You know, I have no idea. There's no guarantees as a player or even a coach about being around next season, so you can't worry about that. But the people upstairs, those are the guys that need to be aware and alert, as Shedeur Sanders does a great job moving in the pocket. That was something we saw Russell Wilson do a lot when he's getting blindside pressure. He had that great awareness of where that was to make just a little bit of a jab step, make the first blitzer miss, and then roll out and give his receivers an opportunity to work on their scramble drill.
Well, you know, Sanders and Gabriel picked a couple of rounds apart, and it's the first time in the NFL since 2012 where multiple quarterbacks were drafted by the same team in the first 5 rounds. Hasn't happened a lot in the common draft era since the late 60s. RG3 and Kirk Cousins, and of course, Kirk Cousins still cashing some checks down there in Atlanta with the Falcons as the backup to Michael Penix. Sanders being pressured, spins away again, keeping the play alive. The fans love it, but that's one of those plays where maybe he's got to roll out and throw it away, huh?
Yeah, I think he's getting a little bit too eager there to have an opportunity to throw the ball down the field. You saw him earlier just hanging a little bit too deep in the pocket, not stepping up. Here, the same thing, right? He's got a nice pocket if he just steps up into that, but trying to escape through the back of the pocket again, and it only takes a couple times when you do that before the defense realizes, okay, we can rush the edge of the tackle, and Shedeur is not going to step up because he's not feeling comfortable there, and then you can actually change how you're rushing and the X that you're rushing to behind where the quarterback is. So I'd like to see some improvement in game, which is something that you have to do as an NFL starter. You got to be able to make those corrections quickly on the sideline.
Loss of 24 on the sack, and then Trevion Williams gets a couple of yards back, and they'll have to punt. And Sanders, just like himself, playing with a lot of young guys.
A lot of young guys out there, a lot of young offensive linemen in front of him. Blocking has not been exceptional, but blocking and the drop of the quarterback, they have to go hand in hand. Like Andrew Berry said, hey, we play with our backs to the ball, so we're blocking for a spot. You know, obviously we're not always doing a great job, and sometimes we get beat just like anybody, but for the most part, I don't know what he's going to do. I can do my best based on the reaction of the defender that I'm trying to block, but having that trust between offensive line and the quarterback about where he's going to be, when the ball is going to come out is so crucial.
How about Aiden Huntington, 280-pound defensive lineman running down the field to make the tackle on the punt. Shedeur, hopefully we'll see you soon.
Chase something. More than just a flag. Chase a goal.
Push, he said, chase it, let's go.
Chase something. Chase rings. Chase gold.
Chase me.
Nah, chase me.
Chase all of it. It's all up for grabs now. NFL flag. Chase something. Chase something. More than just a flag. Chase rings. Chase gold.
Nah, chase me.
NFL flag. Chase something.
We're going to do whatever we can to bring Lombardi back here to Western New York. Iron sharpens iron. It's good to see the boys out there competing.
It's Buffalo versus the world. We have to make the city proud.
Resilient, tough. That is Buffalo to a core, baby.
And NFL Network has 6 live games. The last chance to stand out. And for the young guys to make a name for themselves.
They're back in it, baby!
Week 3 of the NFL preseason. Live on NFL Network.
We're going to do whatever we can to bring in Lombardi to Western New York.
Resilient, tough. That is Buffalo to a core, baby.
Preseason football on News 5 is presented by the University of Akron, official university of the Cleveland Browns. Well, time for you to go to school on the Browns' 2025 regular season schedule, which opens up in this very building 2 weeks from tomorrow against the Cincinnati Bengals. Not easy out of the gate because in the first 6 games, the Bengals are the only team that did not make the postseason a year ago.
Murderer's row there to start the season.
Includes a game on NFL Network. Yeah, you notice 9:30 Cleveland time in the morning. That is over in London against the Minnesota Vikings. Presley on the end around. Got a good block, but a nice tackle there. Christian Holmes, and then here's the second half of the schedule. You know, the interesting thing is going to be, Joe Flacco named the opening day starter. At some point, you do have to evaluate Dylan Gabriel and or Shedeur Sanders moving forward.
That was the conversation we were having before. If you're a player on this roster, you're not worried about next year. There's no guarantees as players or as coaches, but ownership, people in the front office, you have to have that long vision as well. And finding out about your quarterbacks that are on this roster, specifically your rookies, and deciding what you're going to do with those 2 first-round picks is every bit a huge part of the season as it is getting Joe Flacco ready to go and win and try to win as many games as you can.
Aiden Huntington. This guy has been fantastic throughout the preseason. Started today as an extra blocker on offense, and look at the quickness.
Never going to make Aaron Donald comparisons when they're not warranted, but this guy kind of gives little whispers of Aaron Donald with his size, with his quickness, with the effort that he plays with, running down on kickoff. I think I might be buying young Jackie boy Jack Thomas a 66 jersey because this guy's just fun to root for. Watch him right out there. Two with the side ball is loose,
and the Rams recover. Somebody better check Dresser Wynn, who lost on that play more than just the football. Sam Kamara in there.
They're running a little bit of a game here, and then you're going to see Aiden Huntington coming up and underneath number 92 right there. He splits the double team and smokes Rams quarterback there, putting the face mask right on the football, knocking it loose. What a big hit. What a great play there. Just motor, effort, speed, quickness, everything you want to see from your defensive tackle. Look at that, getting love now on the sideline from his defensive line coach.
He's contributed on offense, special teams, and defense. That's a coach's dream. Larvadan lost it in the sun, lets it bounce, and it takes a Rams bounce all the way inside the 5. All right, Shedeur Sanders, let's shake it off. Let's see what you got. Time running out on the Browns preseason. They're up 6.
You can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. So even if you can't count on accurate expiration dates,
that is a rookie mistake.
Or people appreciating your fashion sense.
Jim, the crowd is not on board here.
You can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS, streaming on Paramount Plus.
Glad we wear our good jerseys.
Yeah.
It is time for football.
Holy smokes! I love y'all!
Chase something. More than just a flag. Chase rings. Chase gold.
Nah, chase me.
NFL flag. Chase something.
I am somebody.
Somebody.
I may be young. But I am. Somebody. I may be small.
I may be small.
But I am.
Somebody.
Somebody.
Chase something. More than just a flag. Chase a goal.
Push. She said, Chase it. Let's go.
Chase something. Chase rings. Chase gold.
Chase me.
Nah, chase me.
Chase all of it. It's all up for grabs now. NFL flag. Chase something.
Week 3 and NFL Network has 6 live games. The last chance to stand out and for the young guys to make a name for themselves.
They're back in it, baby.
Week 3 of the NFL preseason, live on NFL Network.
Browns preseason football on News 5, brought to you by Toyota. For all Toyota offers, go to Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. Browns just picked up 15 yards, courtesy of a personal foul on the punt return against the Rams. In the meantime, let's check in once again with Aditi Kinkawala. She's on the sidelines with the Browns' top 2 picks.
2 rookie superstars, Chris. Mason, I'll start with this one. Andrew Berry just said that the 2 of you are always with each other in the building. Is that true?
We're neighbors, so it's kind of funny. So, we're kind of always together.
Is that accidental that you live by each other?
I moved there first, then he moved after.
Okay. Well, Grant Delpit this week said if he were to use 2 words to describe Mason, violent and always attacking. That's an extra word, but violent and attacking. Is that accurate?
Oh, that's very accurate, yeah. Makes it very easy to play behind.
2 California boys out in Cleveland. What's been the biggest adjustment so far?
I was playing in the Midwest already, so I feel it's more of an adjustment for him, but I'm kind of used to it. It's similar to how Michigan was. But yeah, just fun playing in here for the first time and looking forward to the more times.
Has Mason given you any tips on the Midwest?
No, he hasn't really helped me out on how to deal with some of the weather here, but it's been great being out here.
Carson, I hate to break it to you. You haven't experienced any of the weather just yet. All right, the green dot. We talked about it in Carolina. Now that you've got the 3 games in, where do you feel you are with it?
I'm very comfortable with it. Whatever they need me to do, I'm willing to go do, yeah.
Do you feel like he is indeed very comfortable back there?
Yeah, for sure. He makes all the right calls, tells us what to do. Good communicator, and that's what you need from the linebackers.
All right, most important question. Which one of the 2 of you does Jim Schwartz like more?
I don't know. Probably him, honestly.
Really?
I'll go with him.
He knows it's him.
See, they're still rookies, Chris, so they're modest.
That's pretty good, Aditi. Pretty good. Yeah, I don't think that Jim Schwartz would admit it, but Carson Schlesinger is something special right in the middle of that defense. You heard it from Andrew Berry that it was like adding a 5-year vet to the room. Rams had to re-punt, by the way, so Larvadan gets another crack at it. Gets ahead past the 35, and now the Browns will start their series with 9 and change to go in the preseason. It's going to be a lot of fun to see those 2 guys added to a defense that's looking for a little retribution.
Yeah, adding some young, hungry players with high motors and high IQs. They're fun to watch, and this is going to be a really, really good defense. This team's going to lean a lot on them for their ability to hopefully make a nice run through the first part of the season, which is filled with tremendous offenses and great quarterbacks.
Shedeur Sanders, 2 for 4 so far, hands it off to Marshall, bullies his way up toward the 40. Shedeur has also suffered a couple of sacks this afternoon. Cutdown day coming your way Tuesday at 4 o'clock Cleveland time. Hopefully the Browns escape severe injury bug today. We did see their starting center, Ethan Posick, leave with a leg injury in the first. Pierre Strong being evaluated for a concussion. 2nd and 5. Marshall gets a first down. And Rams and Browns going at it face to face with guys trying to make one last impression.
Browns finally getting something going on the ground. That's really going to be a huge help for Shedeur Sanders when they do drop him back to throw again, because so far when Shedeur Sanders has been in, he just hasn't had good blocking in the pass protection or in the run game, and it's put him in some difficult situations. So hopefully they can kind of build on this momentum a little bit, this fiery, this chippiness, and have a nice long drive or get a really good chance to watch Shedeur Sanders as he's pointing out the mic right there.
Well, the fans that have stuck around want to see 12 do something special on 1st and 10. Pressure, Sanders retreats, now steps up. He's going to get dropped inside the 40. Did he lose it? No whistle. Now there's a whistle finally, even though Tony Fields, the former Brown, thought he had a fumble return for a touchdown, but ruled down by contact.
Shedeur Sanders trying to move in the pocket, create something, but just nothing there. Looks like the ball was going to be down as he's being tackled. That elbow hits the ground before the ball comes out, so he's going to be down right there.
So we've seen Shedeur pressured an awful lot here in this game.
And he's kind of doing it to himself a little bit here as he's drifting way too much deep in the pocket. He's got to step up or they're going to just continue to rush up the field.
There's
that spot. Sorry, go ahead.
Connection with Sal Cannella gets it back to the original line of scrimmage.
All right, 2nd down, 16 here. Got an opportunity to get, looks like it'll be about 3rd and 10. So now this is a really tough situation, but hopefully he's made that adjustment in his mind. He'll be able to step up into the pocket. They'll give Shedeur an opportunity to complete something here. Even if it's short of the sticks, give your guys a catchable ball. Try to maybe run and get that 1st down after you catch it.
Sanders sacked 94 times in 2 years out of Colorado. Sanders steps up. Now he retreats, spins around, throws, keeps the play alive. It's behind Williams and incomplete. And he could have gone running for a while.
Heck of a job right there by Sanders. He's stepping up into the pocket here, even though he's not getting great protection from his left tackle, who's a little bit soft. He does decide to step up and gives himself at least an opportunity to break free of those would-be sackers and finds his receiver who's running open in the middle and just a hair behind his receiver, but still that's a catchable ball you got to make if you want to be an NFL receiver.
Frustrating day for Shedeur Sanders. Very different than the first time we saw him against the Carolina Panthers. The Jorquez with a short punt. Fair catch called for at the 23. So the Browns trying to hang on here in the preseason finale.
With NFL Sunday Ticket and YouTube TV, you get every game every Sunday, all in one place. And that's a lot of NFL. NFL Sunday Ticket and YouTube TV. New users pay less.
We're going to do whatever we can to bring a Lombardi to Western New York.
Resilient, tough, that is Buffalo to a core, baby.
Chase something. More than just a flag. Chase rings. Chase gold.
Nah, chase me.
NFL flag. Chase something.
Lowe's knows in addition to the family means in addition to your space.
He's gonna love this.
So we're here to help you make the most of it.
He'll love that too.
Mowing the grass?
Rolling in it.
With points on purchases when you're a My Lowe's Rewards member. And convenient same-day delivery.
Oh, good boy.
You can enjoy summer together.
Go get it.
Lowe's knows how to help you summer.
You're looking at today's player of the game. It's brought to you by Terry Coyne. Aiden Huntington has done it all. The undrafted rookie free agent. Actually started as an extra tight end. Then he actually played a little defense, knocking ball carriers. Look at this. Covering punts for a 280-pound man and then doing what he does best.
He's a human missile out there. He's beating blockers at the line of scrimmage. Here he's running right around the offensive guard with some really nifty hand play and then running a stunt with another defensive tackle on the inside. Gets the sack, knocks the ball free. Just a great job by this young man.
That's our player of the game, brought to you by Terry Coyne. 25 years and $5 billion of commercial real estate expertise. Browns, of course, made a trade. Jawan Briggs, who was a 7th-rounder a year ago, shipped to the Jets along with a 7th-rounder in return for a 6th-rounder. So does that clear a space for Huntington? Who knows? Waters on the carry. Gains about 9. And for more on him, Aditi.
Chris, you look at him, and obviously he's one of those athletic tweeners, 6'1", 280. But Kevin Stefanski said he loves his style, and that today was really more about how he can handle the mental gymnastics of doing offense, of doing defense, of doing special teams. And I don't know, Joe, it looks like he handled them perfectly fine.
He's looking great out there. He's fun to watch. Certainly a guy that is a huge surprise. Andrew Berry's done a great job finding some of those late-round guys, those undrafted free agents that can come in and contribute.
Waters, nice game there. Speaking of undrafted rookie free agents, out of North Carolina State, picks up 18. And we'll see, Browns fans want to see that man, Shedeur Sanders, one more time, at least before the regular season starts.
These are important evaluation reps. We really need the defense to step up. We need Jim Schwartz to call a couple blitzes here. Get the ball back. Turnover, let's go.
Under 5 to go. Waters runs over Christopher Edmonds. Gains 6.
Unfortunately, I think the Rams are not worried about seeing Shedeur Sanders again, and they're thinking, let's run the ball and get back to the West Coast.
Yeah, many of their big names did not even make the trip. Matthew Stafford, who just started practicing because of a disc issue in his back. He didn't make the trip, neither did his backup, Jimmy Garoppolo, Monte Adams, Puka Nacua, their offensive line, their head trainer. Isn't that accurate?
Yeah, I was down in the training room talking to some of the guys BSing before the game, and our head trainer, Pat Rock, the great Pat Rock, was like, you know, their head trainer didn't even travel, because we were talking about all these Rams players that weren't going to be there today, and I wonder if Commissioner Goodell is going to have a little conversation with Sean McVay about, hey, you got to give a little bit better effort here. We got a entertainment event here that people want to come and see, and we got to at least put forth a little bit better effort.
Well, Dresser Wynn has done his job here in the second half and has the Rams driving for potentially the go-ahead score with under 4 minutes to go. 3rd and 1. Play fake. Wynn rolling left, throwing, tip, incomplete. McAllen Castles went in and out of his hands as Christopher Edmonds does a nice job.
Good defense by the Browns. They don't fall for the play-action fake on 3rd and 1, you know. Typically 3rd and 1, you're thinking run the ball. So they stayed home, stayed true to their assignments, and right there to be able to help break that ball up, which is a tough catch for a guy that's kind of turning around. Castles there trying to make that catch, but thankfully for the Browns, hopefully they're going to be able to get off the field here on 4th down.
There's whistles and a timeout by Sean McVay.
Timeout, Los Angeles. This is their second charge timeout of the half.
Certainly.
It'll be a 30-second timeout.
Excited to see Jim Schwartz and that defense hit the field 2 weeks from tomorrow. And you know what else is back for season 2? Juniors Brown Backers. It's presented by University Hospitals, Rainbow Babies and Children's, and in association with Cardinal Credit Union. Cleveland Browns official kids club is gearing up for yet another season of fun. For ages 4 to 12, give your kid a season full of Browns memories with exclusive gear, experiences, events, and plenty of surprises all season long. All you have to do is visit juniorbrownsbackers.com to join today. Browns looking for a stop with 3:39 to go here in the preseason. Somebody's still involved that way, David.
Guy has always got a smile on his face, always bringing joy to his teammates in the locker room and energy. Got to have that spark plug on your team.
4th and 1. Win to throw, looking right. Throws to Edwards, ball knocked away. Darius Rush, did he catch it on the rebound?
No way.
They're saying he did. And the Rams are going to rush up to the line and try and say, yeah, let's.
I think his butt was out of bounds. We'll see here maybe on the replay, but he was right by the white there.
Wow. Well, Kevin Stefanski, this is not regular season football. Well, Rams are going to get the playoff, and the catch will count. We'll give you one more look at this, where if that's the regular season, Kevin Stefanski's definitely checking it out. But how about True Edwards?
Well, that was close, right? At what point does he secure possession of the ball, and at what point does that booty hit the white chalk on the sideline there? That was bang, bang. I think if you had a better camera angle there during the regular season, you got a lot more cameras, so you could see right down the sideline to kind of see the timing of that. But
well, it is NFL math where one butt cheek equals 2 feet.
To tell the wife that.
2nd and 6. By the way, True Edwards, his pops, Troy, a former first-round pick of the Pittsburgh Steelers. One time his dad
Full start.
In college.
Offense, number 70. 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
21 catches, 405 yards for Louisiana Tech against Nebraska.
Good Lord.
Oh, yeah.
I hope he had an ice tub available after that game.
He just kept running.
Can you imagine? Yeah. Probably how many touchdowns? I'd love to know that.
Oh, I can look that one up, too.
Yeah. You hardly know any stats. What's wrong with you? You've changed. You've lost the sauce.
That's what happens when you get older. It's done. 2nd and 11.
Yeah.
Browns looking for a stop. Waters in the backfield. Browns blitzing. Connection. Cubby. First down inside the 5.
Never like to cheer against the Browns, but I was hoping he'd get in there so we get Shedeur another opportunity. Browns send a blitz. They're running a strong cross dog there, trying to get home, but the Rams do a good job picking it up. And then that's the problem. When you do send extra blitzers, there's a lot more holes in your coverage. Rams are running a quick slant there, and they found the hole in the secondary, able to get the ball out and give themselves an opportunity here right on the goal line.
Rams have to snap it before the 2-minute warning. Waters trying to bounce outside. He's going to get into the end zone, and we've got a tie game with 2:03 to go.
Christopher Edwards here for the Browns is going to try to seal the edge, but unfortunately he gets stuck a little bit too far inside. He's got to keep his outside arm free and leverage to be able to handle that, because the Rams are running that classic duo play where the running back starts downhill and then he's got the opportunity to bounce it, and it kind of sucks the defenders in. But when you're that outside defender, you really cannot let the ball bounce outside of you.
Cardi to give the Rams their first lead of the day. And he missed it, but there's a flag on the play. It looks like maybe the Browns were offsides.
Looks like that may have been Darius Rush off the offense's right. Just gets a jump a little bit too quickly there. Sometimes that happens.
Offside, defense, number 39. 5-yard penalty.
You called it, doctor.
Yeah, so the guy
retry
on the edge, they call him sometimes the skinner, because he's trying to skin past that wing player to get his hands in the air and to try to get a block. But you're reading the ball and the body language of the long snapper, and you're trying to take any little cues on when you need to go. And when you go, you go.
Did you learn that from rooming with those guys?
Yeah, all my roommates were the special teams guys. Steve Johnson, long snapper, I got to watch him do a lot of great work at Wisconsin throughout the years. They're also the guys that have the most time on their hands, so they're the most fun. They're the guys that you want to be roommates with.
All right, so the bad news is that the Browns have relinquished the lead for the first time today. I wonder if it's possible if Snoop Huntley is going to...
No, please. It is possible, but we don't want that. And he's throwing the helmet on. Shedeur does not have the helmet on, walking towards the locker room. Wonder if the ribs Maybe the oblique is bothering him a little bit. That was what he heard the week of Philadelphia, did not allow him to take any team reps, and then he was not able to play in the game. We had Andrew Berry here in the third quarter telling us about his toughness and being able to come back so quickly from that injury. Not exactly clear if Shedeur is just feeling frustrated, that's why he went for the walk, or if he was maybe looking to go to the locker room to get those ribs checked out or the oblique checked out.
Well, this has been a lot for him for several months. We get it that he is a star and has been for quite some time. That ball is going to go out of the end zone. Browns have started at the 35. But all eyes have been focused on him ever since the draft process. And then we don't have to harp on it again, but it ends up being picked 144 in the 5th round. And then here, and where are you on the depth chart? And they've got a rookie that they drafted ahead of you. So maybe they don't like you as much. There's been a lot. And as I mentioned, every press conference he has had, he has stood there and handled things beautifully.
Yeah, the game did not go the way any of us had hoped today. Protection was not there. Shedeur Sanders not feeling comfortable with movement in the pocket. Receivers not getting open. Just not what you'd hoped, the opportunity for him to show off his stuff and get that true first opportunity to evaluate those two rookie quarterbacks on the same field against the same defense.
Well, Huntley has that one picked off. But there is a flag. So we'll see if that is a keeper or not for Cam Lampkin.
Holding. Defense, number 33. 5-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
You see right here, a little bit of a hold there by
Lampkin.
The defender, Lampkin, allowing himself to kind of slingshot underneath the receiver and make the play.
All right, so Browns still have the ball, down 1 with under 2 to go.
And now your NFL Airmen led by Omaha! They've changed course.
Peyton Manning?
They're going for the beer! Whoa! Touchdown!
Anything for Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL.
I shouldn't have called that audible.
Thanks.
What? I am somebody. I may be young. But I am. Somebody. I may be small. But I am. I must be respected.
Protected. Never rejected.
But I am.
Somebody.
It is time for football.
It's another opportunity.
Holy smokes. Wow.
Let's go! I love y'all.
Aren't you going to miss the game?
No, I've got NFL Plus. It's on.
Get live, local, and primetime games on mobile with NFL Plus. Keep the NFL in reach.
Back in Cleveland, the play of the game is brought to you by Real American Freestyle. It involves that guy, 40-year-old Joe Flacco, to 21-year-old rookie tight end Harold Fannin Jr.
Joe Flacco doing a great job looking to his left, creating that space for the post route by Harold Fannin Jr. with the great catch, and then being able to hang on all the way through the hit.
Real American Freestyle, first unscripted professional freestyle wrestling league debuts August 30th in Cleveland. Tickets available at realamericanfreestyle.com. After the hold on Cam Lampkin, erased the interception. Browns back at work. That's Chad Cota, and he gets out of bounds after a 6-yard gain. Want to thank our outstanding production crew. Been with us throughout the 3 preseason games. Our producer, Jonathan Siegel. Our director, Chris Svensson. Coordinating producer, Joel Kate. Tech manager, Brian Arizari. Our AD, Dan Larson. Flags. Movement on the offense. We'll move it 5 yards back.
False start. Offense, number 54. 5-yard penalty.
Also our great technicians. Bob Yodas, Gene Winters, Julie Arnold, Pat Farrow, Chris Delcombe, and our gang in the booth, Mike Bixenstein, Mike Falkenstein, Jeff Dalpaz, Kerry Kems, Dave Sheets, thank you so much for all the hard work you've put in. And our friends here at News 5. 2nd and 8. And we'll bring it back as Muhammad jumps.
Neutral zone infraction. Number 45 of the defense. 5-yard penalty. It's still 2nd down.
All right, so the Browns with 151 as Snoop Huntley has entered the game. Browns maybe setting up a potential game-winning field goal. We've seen those attempts before in the preseason.
Dustin Hopkins struggled a little bit here in preseason, so maybe give him one more opportunity to build confidence going into that Bengals game with one more chance for a long field goal.
Huntley with flags down, rolling right, throws, and incomplete. He was looking for Coda. Maybe
all of a sudden it's a flag fest out here with these yellow hankies all over the place.
Offside, defense, number 1. 5-yard penalty. Results in a 1st down.
Darion Kendrick, one of the corners.
Not often you see the cornerback lining up offsides.
So now the ball on the Rams side of the field. I think we'd all like to see Dustin Hopkins get another crack from 50 plus if that's what it comes down to. Still a $145 and 3 timeouts. So Huntley throws the slant. Cade McDonald gets lit up and loses the ball. Here comes the flag, and unfortunately McDonald is down. Quickly, the medical staff coming to his aid.
Yeah, I think that was shoulder to helmet or helmet to helmet there on Cade McDonald, and right at the hit you knew
personal foul, necessary roughness. Number 40 of the defense. 15-yard penalty, automatic, 1st down.
Well, that's on Tony Fields, the former Cleveland Brown. And McDonald being attended to right now, the undrafted rookie free agent out of Miami University. Started his collegiate career at Michigan State. He is being helped to his feet now. Actually just sitting up. We're not going to show you the replay. He took a shot to his head and it just wasn't pretty. And so now he's being assisted.
One of the hits the NFL has worked hard to try to get out of the game by removing any of those forearms to the head of a defenseless receiver, shoulders.
Obviously helmet to helmet.
Helmet to helmet.
Something that they've watched and studied, and
sometimes that's a difficult one for the receiver because you
Please reset the game clock to 1 minute and 42 seconds.
You've got an in-breaking route by the receiver. You've got a safety that's breaking on the football. Ball comes in a little bit low. Receiver comes down, maybe ducks his head a little bit. So there's not malice from the defensive player as he's coming in to try to disrupt and break up the pass. But unfortunately, if you're not picking your target very carefully in those split-second moments as a defensive player, there can be some really serious collisions there in the secondary.
Several members of the Browns training staff walking McDonald down the tunnel into the locker room. We're back. Huntley's going to hang on to it. He's got space. He gets close to another first down before running out of bounds. Just about a yard shy of the first down. So
nice block there by Mitch Van Voren. The Browns are running a zone read here. Tyler Huntley decides to pull the ball, and they actually have a lead blocker for him, which is kind of the next evolution of that zone read, where you're sending a blocker out there to give that quarterback somebody to lead him down the field.
And Andre Schmidt is actually the one that's warming up for a potential game-winning kick. Marshall moves the chains inside the 25 down to about the 22 and a half. Clock is running. Rams do have one timeout. So now the Browns just playing the position game. Hey, kid, where do you like the ball? Maybe in the middle?
Yeah, clearly within easy field goal range for an NFL kicker. Playing to win the game, trying to get out of here without any injuries, because being mindful, it still is preseason. But trying to play this somewhat game-like, a regular season game where you feel pretty good about being in that position, and then you talk to your kicker and say, hey, buddy, which hash would you like it on?
Marshall moves the pile forward inside the 20. And the Browns are officially in the red zone, which is presented to you by Milk-Bone. Milk-Bone bringing more dog food to the dog pound. 3 trips, 3 scores, and a 4th would give the Browns a perfect preseason. Nervous?
More than I would expect, Chris. Yeah, all of a sudden you said it, and I felt my heart rate go up a little bit. I am a little bit nervous. You know, we were hoping to see maybe Dustin Hopkins get one more opportunity, but the guy with the last name that I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce,
Schmidt,
very Polish, maybe? I don't know, somewhere in that Eastern bloc.
Browns are going to set it up right in the middle and take the clock all the way down to one more snap. So what do you think? Last week we saw Nick Sirianni call a timeout, icing kickers in the preseason. Does Sean McVay do the same to Kevin Stefanski yet again?
Is Sean McVay still at the game, or did he already load up in the plane and he's ready?
What do you think?
I don't think he ices him, and I think we nail this right down the middle with Schmidt.
The guy that was a All-American and a Rosa Award winner as a freshman at Syracuse. And now looking to win it for the Browns from 37 yards out. A perfect preseason on the line. The snap, the hold, the kick. There you go, Browns fans. Your perfect preseason is here.
Well, winning is always good, no matter when it comes or how it comes, Chris. Meaningless game, you can tell it to us later in the year, but that still felt good.
Good for that kid. Rex Sunahara, the local guy from Bay Village with the good snap. Bajorquez the hold, and Schmidt is good.
Splits the uprights. Good way to end the preseason.
And yeah, even the guys that throw it for a living. Yeah, that's solid. That's excited for Dylan Gabriel, by the way. Shador, come on, be fired up. And your starting quarterback for week 1, I get to tell the kids that we won a preseason game. In fact, 3 of them. So, curtain comes up 2 weeks from tomorrow in this building against the Cincinnati Bengals. First, your final stats brought to you by Wayside Furniture. Wayside Furniture and Mattress, keeping it local since 1937. Second half, not a ton to write home about offensively, but overall, an impressive preseason.
Yeah, I think this preseason, the Browns got exactly what they wanted out of it. Kevin Stefanski wanted to hold a more physical training camp, a more difficult training camp, challenge these players to be better and tougher. And we saw that in the joint practices in Carolina. We saw it in Philadelphia with 2 dominating performances against Carolina. Probably not going to be that great, but Philadelphia, you're defending Super Bowl champions. The trenches were won by the Browns on offensive and defensive line, and you got to feel pretty good about where the Browns are heading into the opening game here in a couple weeks against the Cincinnati Bengals.
Ton of fun, Hall of Famer. It was great. Schmidt happens as the Browns win it 19-17 for Joe Thomas and Aditi Kinkabwala. I'm Chris Rose. This has been a presentation of News 5 and the Cleveland Browns. For our viewers on News 5, don't go anywhere. After these messages, it's John Dawson, the Browns post-game show for viewers on our other affiliates. Thank you so much for watching and have a great rest of your day.